Hey, hey, hey. It is Hot Take Tuesday live on a Wednesday. So, we're going to be talking about the last Saw movie that came out last year, which is Saw X. I don't know why I did this. It wasn't even necessary. Um, waiting for my guest to come on. So, hello. Hey, what's up? We're going to be talking about Saw X with my guest. Hopefully the live is going to be living like it's supposed to. Oh, whoops, let me try that one. Oh, wait.
Hey, how
Hey!
are you?
Good! How are you
I'm
doing?
doing so good, honey. It's been almost a year since our last conversation.
Oh my god, has it?
September
Oh,
19th was when we spoke of
oh,
2023. Isn't it great?
it, it is. And
Yeah,
I love the red. I love the red.
thematically
It feels,
fitting.
yeah, oh yes. Oh yes.
I'm a very
Love it. How have you
dramatic person.
been?
Oh, girl. If I can just tell you, we're moving along. We're getting things done. We got a little sidetracked in terms of what we want to do with our brand and stuff, but things are finally settling down so I can start being an adult now, which is a good thing.
Perfect. If you could please tell our guests, well, our viewers, what is it you do?
Oh, hi. So, government name Ian, brand name Dead. My brand name is Deadlights, and we do
Yeah.
we do music. We like to DJ. We like to make electronic music, and right now we're currently in the middle of getting our Twitch together, our YouTube together, our Patreon together. We're getting a couple of things together right now because I was supposed to start doing releases at the beginning of the year, but if I'm not confident in something, I tend to hold back a bit. So now, coming towards the middle of the year, it's just about that time just to start
Mm,
putting things out and seeing where this goes. And
yes. And can I say
mhm.
that I'm not going to ask you because I've been in and out a lot, but have you been doing any more of your like lives, like playing, like, messing around with beats or music or
I'm doing
anything?
well. I stopped the production sessions for a bit, but because we put the money together, we got a new DJ board, and we have been fiending over this for weeks now. So the two videos are up of me practicing with it. I never realized how rusty I was until I started playing. I was like, I gotta learn this all over again. But I've been grinding away at it, and right now, I went ahead and bought the equipment to let me adapt the audio to Instagram, so you're not
Mm-hmm.
hearing the room, you're hearing the actual
Yes.
mix. So
Yes.
right now, I I, I want to do one more, hopefully this upcoming weekend, but by next week, I'm gonna start putting out dates for an actual YouTube video, and I'm gonna be doing an interactive live. So we might Periscope that one. But
Mm.
that's when I get an official date for that because right now what I'm currently going through is every time I do a live, I get copyrighted for the music. So
Oh,
I've gotten three slaps on the wrist so far, and it's like the most discouraging
what?
thing. Yeah,
Wait.
so I apparently go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Tell
no.
me.
So the issue is these songs you can't play them. I think for more than like 30 seconds, otherwise the algorithm pinches you. So I have to now find a way to mix faster so the algorithm doesn't catch it. And I gotta add effects and I have to maybe change tempo or pitches, whatever. I'm currently in the process of learning how that algorithm works.
Mm.
YouTube is a little less jerkish about it because they'll at least be like, hey, we won't you can keep the video, but we won't monetize it.
Right.
And that's fine with me. I'm not really looking for the monetization. I just need all eyes on that video.
Yes.
Um, Twitch has also been forgiving, but they won't let you save the videos if there's music in it that they have to mute because of copyright issue. So
Um,
if you're live with me, you hear everything. The moment the live is done, I can't keep that video. Unless I do like, separately, I'll go probably through OBS or something and record it there. That's different. But yeah, so I'm in the middle of figuring out how a lot of this works and just how deep I can sink my teeth into this stuff without getting hit with flags and stuff like that. It's been a
Yes.
learning experience, and quite frankly, it pisses me off. But we're we're
We're
getting we're
getting through
getting
it. We're getting through it. We're getting through it.
we're getting through it.
The careless kid says still great beat.
Hey, what's up, man? That's Aaron, by the way. He's the homeboy. He's always been supporting
Hey.
my stuff.
Oh,
And maybe
he says,
Kick.
yeah.
Kick. I want him to elaborate. I think I know what he means, but I'm not sure. I need him to elaborate on that.
Okay.
Um,
Elaborate, Aaron. Elaborate. Okay. Well, you know what? I
so
hear
what's
you
been
on
new with
that.
you?
Ha! Okay. So.
You know what? Life's been going around. I can feel it. Everyone's getting a piece of life.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'll talk about some of the good things that's going on. My season 1 of my show that I filmed like years ago, The Zombie Chronicles, is on Tubi. We made it to Tubi, so I was very happy about that. Yes.
What?
Yes.
What? Did you put this on your Instagram? Was this public
I
knowledge?
I I did. I did a couple like little reels and this and that, but I only did a little bit of promo. You know how like marketing is like, putting people's faces. I kind of tend to get like a little bit, about that. Like,
Mm.
well, I just told them 3 times already. And the answer is yes, because not everybody sees things. Yes, yes.
Hey, first of all, my bad because clearly I missed it. Because if something goes up on two, I don't, I'm not really a big fan of the whole streaming service thing. But for example, I love Miss Pat, and when Miss Pat got made it to BET, you better believe I made an account to watch Miss Pat. And if you have a show on Tubi, I'll pay Tubi to watch the damn show.
Tubi's free.
All right, well, that shows you how much I know. That shows you how much I know.
Okay. Currently today, Tubi is free. Like, I don't know if they're gonna get, besides themselves later and be like, yo,
I gotta watch this show. I gotta watch this. How many episodes?
8 episodes.
How long are the episodes?
Oh, like anywhere from like 20 to like 25 minutes. They're very short. And we walk through the life of our main zombie. And, the thing is, it's not, gory or scary. It is a kind of fantasy drama comedy. So in this
That's
world,
great.
zombies are not monsters. They are uh, people born with an extra Z gene that when they die, they get second chance at life. And they represent ostracized groups
Mm-hmm.
of they are themselves the new minorities. So, it's interesting to see how that, you know.
That sounds interesting, and I definitely want to look at it just because now it seems more like it could almost be like a social experiment to see how that actually goes. And I'm a big like I like narratives if they have like deeper meanings behind it, and
Yes,
like
yes,
obviously it's gonna be fun and funny, but I get to
yes.
learn things along the way, different perspectives. I think that.
Thank you. The Careless Kid says, watching them tonight, say no more. Oh, I love it. So I'll
Hey,
tell you
what's
this.
up?
They also represent mental health because imagine you
Mm,
dying overnight and now you already go through the trauma of dying. And then you wake up and you realize, oh my gosh, I'm a zombie because they don't know beforehand. And you realize there's already a set of rules against you in society that you can't do. Um,
right.
so because of that, I want to tell you, every scene has green in it to represent mental health. Whether it's a prop, whether it's a wardrobe, whether it's the scenery itself,
Yeah.
every scene. And the titles themselves, every episode is the title of a popular song with either the word zombie replacing a word or adding to it,
Mhm.
and the song itself is relating to the episode. Yeah. So all right, I'm talking too much. Enough of that.
No, 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 no. What's the name of the show?
Oh, I'm sorry. The Zombie
The
Chronicles,
Zombie
and you have to spell it fully
Chronicles.
out to see it. And the 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 poster is like looking like kind of like an animated type of poster. So
Got it. And it's on Tubi.
yes, yes.
Aaron, remember that shit? Remember that? Remember it? We're gonna have to watch it together. Like, come on, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Honey, that's first of all, congratulations. That is phenomenal news. That's
Oh,
actually
thank
really,
you.
really, really good news, and I hope you're excited too because
Oh, I am.
the only way
I
out is
am.
up.
I am. I am. And you've encouraged me to kind of put more marketing out about it again. Because like I get kind of you can start your head, you're like, they're gonna be so sick of me.
No, at the risk of sounding crude, okay, hoe it out. Let everybody know. Let everybody know. Like, look, look.
Yes.
When I start doing mine, I did like 2 little Halloween releases, and I really wasn't crazy about them when I put them up on Spotify. I've grown to enjoy them for what they are.
Mm-hmm.
But now with the stuff the stuff I have is done. I just haven't pulled the trigger on it because I like to review and nitpick. You better believe I'm gonna hoe it out as much as I can too. Just post the videos and like, come on, like but that's what it's for. Let everybody know and be proud of that shit. Because at the end of the day, that's your if that's like I'm not sure what you have under your belt. Let's just say it's your first project on an actual streaming service. Yeah, beat your chest about it. You deserve it. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm editing season 2 as we speak.
What's up?
So yeah.
What's up?
Yeah, we actually had a budget in season 2, so that was great.
Oh, okay.
just
I
to give you a little bit of
understand. I
foreshadow. Okay,
understand. No,
all
I totally
right.
understand that. I totally get that. But that's so good though, honey.
Thank
Seriously, that's so
you.
good. And
Thank you.
I can't wait to look into it. You'll see me annoying you, sending you screenshots of like, look at this, this shit was
Ooh.
funny. Like, come on
Oh, and
now.
I have a small little Stanley cameo in there. Like blink and you miss it.
I'll be on the lookout for it. I like dude, this is up my alley. I like looking for little things, little Easter eggs.
Thank you. All right, now let's get into Saw X. I don't know why I
Let's
keep
get
doing
it.
this, but I'm like, if the Bronx can do it, Saw X can do it.
Let's get Let's do it. Let's do it. All right.
All right. So,
Mhm.
uh, how are you feeling about the movie overall? Before we just your overall thoughts on Saw X.
Okay. All right. You did a questionnaire on your
Mm,
page. You asked people, is it time for Saw to like be done? Do you want a little more? Or yeah, flat out just I don't do horror. And a
yeah.
good majority of the people were like, Saw is done. And unfortunately, I would have to disagree. Uh,
Well, if it makes you feel better, the YouTube crowd is like, nah, give me some more. They want the gore.
those are people that know what they're talking about. I'm not trying to start nothing. I'm not trying to start nothing. I'm not trying to start nothing. But genuinely, the fact that we got a movie that was about John Kramer, put Jigsaw to the side.
Yeah.
We got a John Kramer movie
Yeah.
that humanized him to the full extent of his trauma for us to
Yes.
understand the driving force behind Jigsaw. Um,
Mhm.
and it kept me emotionally invested. And without going too deep into any of the scenes, I know for a fact that by the end of that movie, I wanted more John Kramer. And if anything, Saw
Mm.
X made the events of 1 through 7 just that much more tragic
Mm.
because now we know him. We don't know. I feel like watching the original 1 through 7 gave you the media's point of view on John Kramer with the added in
Yeah.
flashbacks.
Yeah.
But now we didn't, that perspective gets completely annihilated now that you watch it through the perspective of John Kramer.
Yeah.
Um, I was enamored with the movie. It was it was actually probably one of the best ones. Yeah.
I'm gonna definitely co-sign and agree. I think that was partially why I in my hot take that I had made,
Mm-hmm.
I had said, this should be the last one, only because it was so well done. You know what I
Mm.
mean? It's like, oof, like I'm afraid. I'm afraid. Don't touch it. I'm afraid you're gonna mess it up. Um, now, I I have not ridden through the whole journey like you have. I watched Saw 1 through 3,
Mm-hmm.
and then I skipped over and went to Spiral, and then bam. And matter of fact, Spiral was one that we did last year, wasn't it? Yes.
Mm.
Okay, this is so fitting. Oh my god, this is so
I know, right?
fitting.
The part
This is
two.
so fitting. Oh my gosh. Okay, so you already know my thoughts on Spiral when we went through that.
Yeah.
I have I have no critiques for this film. Like, I mean, I have no critiques. I was happy with everything: the characters, the gore, the story, the the destinations. Like it was so well done. And like you said, you really gotta feel for him. And as we my sense, yeah, I was feeling bad for Jigsaw.
Of all people.
Jigsaw, of
Of
all
all
people, like
people. Yeah.
I was like, oh, and we're not going to go in order. We're going to skip around. And Phil just coming on. We're talking about Saw X. Feel free to type your comments in there. And also, thank you, Aaron. I appreciate the support. um, so when he thought that he was cured, he was sitting on maybe a balcony or something, and he had one of his little sketches, his little those little machines or whatever, and then he tore it and ripped it off. Do you think that in that moment he was ready to put down Jigsaw?
Uh, I think if all right, if I don't want to get too meta with it, yes, I'll have to say yes. The way the movie was going and what it wanted to imply, yeah, I think a lot of his fear, a lot of his anxiety was probably satiated in that moment. He had a moment of just sober.
Yeah.
He just sobered up from all of that grief and maybe actually saw a light at the end of that tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
It could also be argued that the events of Saw X is what pushed him to go full throttle. Yeah,
I think it did both. I think
yeah,
that moment was him. I'm gonna put this down, and I'm done with Jigsaw. And then when it was uncovered all they had done, not just to him, but 34 other people,
yes,
like you said, he was like, oh, my work is nowhere near finished.
of course.
Time to go full throttle. And honestly, I'll go one step further. I honestly think that if he had been cured for real, that he would have put Jigsaw down and would have only picked him up occasionally if something really, you know what I mean? If there was a
Yeah,
real injustice right in front of his face, he would no longer be looking for it. It would just
yeah.
like if it happened.
He how do you say? I can't remember his name. He's a YouTuber I watch. He does this Dead by Daylight thing, and Dead by Daylight, if you don't know, is a horror game where you get to play as murderers and there's four survivors. It's basically a game of tag. Um,
Wow.
and one of the murderers in Dead by Daylight is the pig, who we actually know for sure is actually Amanda Young that you play as in Dead by Daylight. And
Wow.
him explaining the mentality behind Jigsaw's baptism is you're always hunting for the next thing. And I agree. Like, what if in that moment he just wasn't gonna hunt anymore? Only pulling out Jigsaw when he absolutely needed it for
Yeah.
something that was obvious. He wasn't gonna start micro examining everyone and everyone and everything anymore.
Yeah.
That it's almost and you almost even have hope too when he
Yeah.
has that moment of like, oh, there's a light at the end of this tunnel. Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's
Yeah.
what's tragic. Yeah.
And even though the hammer's coming down, a part of you is just like, maybe?
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Just a
Just
little
enough.
bit. Just
Just
a
a
little
little
bit.
bit. I thought it was intriguing in terms of setting. We were in this we weren't in some random city with no name anymore. We went out of the country and we were dealing with like a whole other level of culture, which also obviously he took its inspiration from.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I would say so. I
yeah,
would definitely say so.
and even then, and in the same vein, gave him a different perspective in a sense of what is the difference between guilty and not guilty, and obviously the kid in the movie, I feel like for him was that almost it was his vulnerable it basically they personified his vulnerability and his ability to know the difference between good and evil, and obviously the kid was
Yes.
like this purely good thing and the only
Yeah.
purely good thing all throughout the movie. Philosophically, a very, very interesting tidbit to add in there.
Yeah.
And obviously I think the other person that they added in there that you almost feel hard for, I think it was Gabriella. She was the drug
Yes.
addict.
Yes. Yes.
That was unfortunate. Yeah.
I I really love what they did with that. Oh, sorry, real quick. The Careless Kid said, "A moment of clarity followed by a hunger of persistence is how I see it." Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Agreed. That's a really good way to look at it.
So I love that how they used Gabriella and connected her with Amanda. Amanda saw herself so much in her, and to the point that she actually was trying to vouch for her, for convince John Jigsaw, like, she you don't understand the drugs that control you sometimes. Like, you make decisions, you become a person you never thought you would be, which I thought was a good, in all this blood, a good
Yeah.
message that they threw in there and reminded people that, like, drug addicts, like,
Are sick.
they they are sick.
They are
They
sick.
really are.
Yeah.
And
And
and then
that was
for her to be
such a
hooked on
good.
oxy. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, to see
Yes,
like that banter.
it wasn't cocaine.
No.
It wasn't heroin. It was oxy. Like,
Painkillers. Something prescribed to you from a doctor. So
yes,
it's not like
yes.
she
Like,
was just some drug. She wasn't just some basehead or some druggie. She was someone that
no.
was, unfortunately, that's how she got roped into it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and even then, the banter, he understands Amanda's perspective on it. She's like, they'll make you do things that you never thought yourself capable of, and it's such a heartfelt moment. But you also see he's sticking to his guns. He goes like, her choice was do or don't do. So yeah, and even then, like that banter is, I guess, what made Gabriella such a bittersweet moment throughout the whole entire movie. Because now, even though she was one of the offending people, you actually wanted her to survive.
Yes.
You had an emotional connection to someone with whom you wanted to have a redemption. Which
Yeah.
I think if we're talking about it, script wise, was probably a phenomenal tool
Yeah.
in terms of if we're trying to really prove a point of his disdain for truly evil people. Gabriella and that kid were some really well thought out tools.
Yes. And
Yeah.
when she survived, he was very adamant. Like, no, she needs to go to the hospital. Like, she won her game.
Yeah.
She no. Like, he is
He
very live by the game, die by the game.
yeah. Yeah. And I think in Dungeons and Dragons, I think he's considered lawful evil.
Mm.
So there's a difference between chaotic evil, evil, and lawful
Yeah.
evil. Lawful
Yeah.
evil is Jigsaw, where basically he's like, you don't understand. This needs to happen, right? He thinks that this needs to happen. The fact that she won her game, he was like, you know what? She did something that not many of my students were capable of doing. So obviously, he saw the humanity in her in that moment. Are we doing spoiler alerts, or are we just going to have
Yeah.
a free conversation about this? How you
Free
want to do this?
conversation. Free
Okay.
conversation. Like, we're breaking it down, guys. So if you
All
haven't
right.
seen it and you really want to see it, I mean, you're gonna see it regardless.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's
Yeah.
fine. Oh, Phantom says, "Hey, Alan."
Oh, Phantom's my brother. That's Ethan.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Ethan and Ian.
Yes, ma'am.
Ah,
Yes, ma'am.
I
um.
love it.
So in the reason why I kind of want to reiterate the importance of those tools is because mostly I love you too, man. It's mostly um they if you wanted to know what evil looks like in the eyes of John Kramer, it is I forgot her name, but the blonde lady that was like in charge of the whole entire scheme.
Dr. Cecilia Peterson.
Yes. All right. All right.
Cheat
That is.
sheet.
Oh, look at you! I watched it last night to prepare, thinking I was gonna be right on the ball, but it just escaped me. But she is the personification of that evil of that.
Oh,
She's like all seven sins in one person. It was that lady, yeah.
like okay, all right. So I think I don't know, I probably didn't say it, but that's funny thing about you said that, because the thing is, when you're dealing with an anti-hero of sorts,
Mm-hmm.
the villain has to be way worse,
Yeah,
way worse for us to, So if we're looking at the first Saw, right,
mm-hmm.
movie, first Saw movie, I know that the two guys in the locker room, one was a photographer following this
Yeah.
guy, who was, remind me again, was he cheating on his wife, or he was just
He was cheating on his wife. Yeah,
okay?
yeah,
Okay, so, and you look at that and you're kind of like, I mean, the cheating on the wife thing is frowned upon. I don't know if it's deserving of you dying over it, but the photographer is just taking pictures of it. He's just following. He just was just hired to do this thing, you know? Yeah, fair. Thank you. So for this movie, for us to look at John in an endearing light, the villain couldn't be, oh, dude cheated on his wife. Photographer filmed. Like, that could not be the villain. That could not be what he was up against.
they had to be a
It had to
slime ball.
it had to be a slime ball, and oh my gosh.
Mm.
Oh my gosh. I was like,
And the tragedy behind it is her lie was embedded from a truth. Because her dad, if you hear
yeah,
Amanda says her dad's the real thing. We haven't
yes,
lost everything. We could just go talk to her old man.
yeah,
But they were already so deep in it. They were already so deep in it, and John sits there. He goes like, "No, it's done. There's no point in pursuing that at that point when everyone was already in the middle of a game." And that's another moment that they have where Amanda's telling him like, "I don't think I can do it." And he's like, you can because you have to."
yeah.
And that right there, that for me was like in a moment where I was like, like just,
Oh, you know what? You know what's so funny? Let's talk about Parker Sears. Let's talk about Parker Sears real quick.
the
All right.
twist. Okay, yeah.
Yes. Let me tell you. So you, I have to, I have to trust my instincts.
Mm,
Okay, when he went to the room, and met Parker Sears,
mm-hmm.
and the dude was talking, I immediately was like, hold on. He had some kind of thyroid cancer or whatever, got
Right.
it took out the day before, and he talking all lied out today. I was like, nah, he a plant. I don't believe it. He's not the real deal. I don't believe it.
You
Da-da-da-da.
called him out.
Like I literally did. And then he comes at the end, oh, well, F you. Da-da-da.
Where's
I was
my
like,
money?
I was wrong. He's not the thing.
Yo.
Trust your instincts. Damn it. I had him.
I First of all, this is why women tend to live longer than men because I, as a man watching that, was like, "Yo, my boy got fucked over too." So now, not only do we get Amanda, but we get kind of like this pseudo apprentice. I was like, all with it. I was like, "My boy, you get backup from like a stranger, and you're gonna let him watch." I was like thrilled, and then it got weird. It got really weird. It got real weird.
But
Go ahead.
but now, knowing the outcome, you know why it got weird,
Of
and
course,
you know
he's the
why,
boyfriend.
like, yeah,
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 he was in on it, but that for me, like, there's not a lot of fulfilling twists that I could speak of in terms of horror movies. That was effective.
yes,
It may not have been the greatest, but it was effective
it was.
because it threw you for a twist. You actually thought he was another victim, so it was like this is gonna be interesting. That this is like some natural monkey wrench getting thrown into his plans here, and it turns out it's a part of the plan. But it was so effective. I had no
So
complaints.
effect. So no, it was good.
Mm.
Listen, his acting, his anger, it made me ignore my intuition. And I was like, oh, my bad. He is a victim. Okay, I had no idea.
Oh my God. Hold on, wait, Phantom, do you think you would survive the wrist bear trap? Actually, can we have a quick conversation about that? Realistically speaking, the only reason why one person ever survived it, well, two people for really, because it's Mark Hoffman that we know of and Amanda Young that survived their bear traps. Mark
Yes.
Hoffman, Mark Hoffman won his bear trap just out of because he had the wits to know that he had something in the room that was going to buy him time to rip himself out of it. So technically, but he got away by sacrificing a pound of flesh to do it.
Okay.
Amanda, on the other hand, survived because she had to cut open her cellmate because the key was in his stomach, so she had to actually cut him open to get the key. And
Mm-hmm.
she won the trap.
Yeah.
You mean cheated? Yeah, he cheated. 100%.
Ooh.
Technically speaking, Mark Hoffman did cheat the bear trap. Yeah,
Okay, Phantom Fox.
yeah, he
All right.
definitely cheated.
Cheated.
Yeah,
She won. Yes, she won.
yeah. The difference.
I also think that's why she's a fan favorite too, because she rightfully earned her spot. Loyalty,
Yeah,
loyal to Jigsaw. Um, uh, 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 uh. The Killer's Kids is surviving. Is
it's
surviving a
surviving.
victory, and Alley Cat says a victory is a victory. I was like, Alley Cat Studios says a
A
victory is a
victory
victory.
is a victory. Surviving. This my squad's in here. This is so funny.
Yes.
You know what? But anyway, back. I didn't want to jump into that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to hold it off because Mark Hoffman for me, that whole movie was great. I drooled when they brought him back for the end credit. When he came back for the end credit scene, I haven't seen the actor, by the way, who plays as Mark Hoffman. His name is Costas Mandylor. I love Costas Mandylor because before movies or during his time in movies, he was also doing soap operas. Um, and there's just something about him that I find is a very in almost like the kind of love people have for Robert Downey Jr. is the love I have for Costas Mandylor. Costas Mandylor for me was
Oh.
such a big selling point when he started doing the Saw movies to watch him in his element. And I haven't seen Costas at all in any media since Saw 3D.
Mm.
So when seeing him in that end credit, I was like, "You've gotten older, but you look so good."
He did. He really did.
He
Because
looks so good.
when he put the phone as a detective, I was like, is he talking about Buddy? And then Amanda came through, and I'm like, Amanda's not a detective.
Mm.
So like, you know what I mean? And then boom, I was like,
Yeah,
I got.
and I thought we were gonna be restricted to just voice, to these voice cutouts because he was on the phone with him, and I was like,
Yeah,
oh, you know what? At least they include him, and I'll
yeah.
take what I can get. Son, he shows up in that end credit. He goes like, "Thank you, detective, for helping me find my fellow cancer patient," and he
Woo!
turns the corner. Son, I gotta tell you, I got up. I had an empty thing of a couple of ice. I got up and went. Like pointing at the screen.
Yo,
Yo.
yo.
Yeah.
Okay, so um, Henry Kessler, which is what the um,
He had the fake scar.
yeah, fake scar, played by Michael Beach. So when he like directed him to the people or whatever, when he told him about the place, I initially thought that like they do real work, but they only scam a few people that you know what I mean, like who they can scam. But I didn't realize that they just no everybody getting scams.
Yeah.
So I remember when we realized that I was like, well, he coming back for that dude, and then I forgot about the dude
Well, yeah,
with
because there's so
everything
much
going on.
going on. Yeah.
Yes, until the very end credits. I was like,
It's
ah!
the cherry on top. The movie was great, but here's your cherry on
Yes.
top.
How
Yo.
like listen, not to be funny, but Saw X, Saw 10, 10 out of 10. I'm just like they did it. Like they
10 out
did
of
it.
10. 10 out
I
of 10.
mean, it was
Yeah.
so
Can
good.
can I want to pull the layers
Yes.
back real quick just
Go ahead.
because
Go ahead. Go ahead.
the thing that Saw X did so well that the other ones either hit or miss was throughout the entirety of the movie, you finally had the emotional connection to this guy that it felt wrong to want to root for him, but it was also so right because he could have been your uncle, he could have been your grandpa, and he was in a desperate situation. And like so many of those people that got dicked over by this lady who was lying to them in their time of desperate need, just cleaning out their bank accounts for what they thought was a shot at life. And,
Mm-hmm.
and once they set up that emotional tether, everything else kind of fell into place in terms of like, it wasn't, it didn't really feel, for example, Saw 4 was brutal, but they Saw 4. If we're talking about the traps, Saw 4 was brutal. The
Okay.
first trap that we experienced in Saw 4 after the opening credit, which I won't count, it's this girl sitting in a chair, her ponytail's in gears, and to get out, the gears have the code etched into them, and it was gonna yank her scalp off if the guy didn't do it in time. Surprise, surprise, he didn't do it in time. So you watch this lady's like scalp just start peeling off her head. The next trap after that, the guy he was like a rapist who apparently had gone through the system already, so he in his eyes paid for it. But obviously Jigsaw felt different. Um, so basically, the guy that Jigsaw's trying to groom into his new apprentice uh, has to force this guy into a trap where he's like strapped in a bed, kind of in a vulnerable position, the same way he made those other ladies feel vulnerable when he, raped them. And
Mm.
his choice was either wait and this bed will pull you limb from limb, or you get these two buttons and you blind yourself from the things that have led you astray, your eyes. Um, and he ended up
Blind.
only doing right. He ended up only doing the one, and then he gets pulled apart. They don't cut anything. His leg went one way, his arm went another way, his other leg went this way. It was horrible. So all throughout Saw 4, yeah, you're there for the gore and the grittiness and the roughness of it. Saw X, was it grim and was it hard to look at? Yes, especially the wire trap. She had to take the ghillie saw and she had to
Yeah.
like the sound. First of all, I love sound design. The sound design made me curdle in my seat
Ooh.
when she's like, just you hear like how she's cutting through like the sinew and her muscles. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But aside from all that, aside from all the grotesque of it, it didn't feel like we were in it just because we were here to like, if it weren't for the traps in Saw 4,
Yeah.
Saw 4 is a very slow burn. It's a very slow burn movie.
Ah.
Saw X
Uh,
was good on the traps and good in the story narrative, which is very hard for Saw movies to do.
mm,
Very hard. We got both.
uh, yes. Oh, Phantom Fox says, "Who are the goons that knocked out the bad cop?" Thoughts?
Oh no, there's no thoughts. I can tell you who those guys were. He's talking about at the end of Saw 3D when Mark Hoffman's making his escape. He had just killed Jill Tuck. Um, and you don't know, at the end of Saw 3D, Jill, Jigsaw's wife, gets killed by Hoffman by the original bear trap. It's the first time on screen. Right, that's right. You didn't watch 3D.
No, no, no. Hold on. You said Jigsaw's wife?
Jigsaw's wife Jill dies at
What?
the end of Saw 3D.
What did she do?
At the end of Saw 6, so Mark Hoffman isn't aware that he himself, Jigsaw, understands that he's more a killer than he is a teacher. So
Ah,
Jigsaw, in the worry of Mark Hoffman going on a killing spree, which was happening, what ended up happening was Jigsaw left in his will 6 photos, 5 of which were for Mark Hoffman, the sixth one being for Jill. 5 of the 5 photos were the people that we watched throughout the entirety of Saw 6 go through their trap, go through the normal Jigsaw game that we both know and love. At
yeah.
the end of it, Jill basically, how should I say, she jumps Mark Hoffman, she knocks him out, and she puts a new bear trap on his head. And what happens is she explains to Mark Hoffman, because Mark Hoffman wrote this letter to Amanda in Saw 3, which you don't know till the sixth movie. This is one of the things I don't agree with how they utilize the flashbacks. Um, Basically, Mark Hoffman knew that Amanda was the reason why, and if you don't know this, you know it now. Amanda's the reason why Jill lost Gideon, the baby that Jigsaw was going to have with her in the first place. The night that she lost that baby, she was with Cecil in the hallway before Cecil held Jill at knife point and was the one that pushed him to go get the drugs in the first place. Like she stressed him out and then made him do it. And Mark Hoffman knew that for a fact. He had the receipts actually to prove it, which is a piece of info they don't add in the movie, but in the if you listen to the discussion version of it, they explain he has the receipts for it. So Mark Hoffman writes to Amanda, I know what you did. I know that it was you and Cecil that night that John lost his kid. So here's what's going to happen. In Saw 3, you remember Dr. Lynn Denlin, who did the open brain surgery? He said, you're going to, not that, or if or maybe, he was like, you're going to kill Dr. Lynn Denlin. Because if you don't, I'm going to tell John everything you did. He basically made Amanda lose her own game. That's why she was so stressed out. She was so emotional and she was so angry at the end of it because she's trying to psych herself out, which you as a viewer think she's pushing herself over the ledge. What was happening was she was like, I have to do this to have a chance at saving my relationship with John. So she kills Lynn, not knowing that a couple moments later, Jeff was going to show up and kill her in the end because she got shot in the neck by Lynn Denlin's wife. Husband. It's a lot. It's a lot of information.
It's a lot. Okay. Well, yeah.
Of all the people to find that letter, Jill was the one that found that letter, not John, because John obviously died before he even knew about it. But Jill found it. So because Jill finds it, she realized that Amanda was this work in progress and that she was dealt a bad hand by someone who was genuinely an evil person. So the job was, hey, you need to kill Mark Kaufman because this is going to go off the rails if it's left to him in his hands. Long story short, she triggers the bear trap. He's got like maybe 30 seconds to get out of it. He gets out of he was like bound to a chair. He gets out of it. He only survives because the timer hit 0. He survives because in the door of the office he's in, there's these 2 bars that he crams his face through, and when the bear trap opens, the bars catch the bear trap. So he's stuck like that. He only escapes because he uses like the metal piece that's in your mouth that rips your face open. He uses that to cut his cheek open, and he escapes. So as revenge, he went hunting for Jigsaw's wife all throughout Saw 3D, gets her, and ends up killing her with the original bear trap. The first time we actually see a bear trap work on screen, by the way.
Okay. Okay. So one of these days I will peruse through Saws 4 through 8 or whatever.
7. 4 through 7. Because 7 was 3D. And then after that, Jigsaw and Spiral are just whatever.
Yeah, wait, which? Oh yeah, I didn't see Jigsaw, I saw Spiral. Okay, so I have a question. Let me see. Oh, not a question, but here's what I noticed. When John went to the house for the operation, he was in a white gown. The area was lit white, and it kind of gave him that like pure angelic, look. And then I saw when he kind of turned and he I think it was when the four of them were trapped, chained up, and he was looking at into the window. He's in all black. There's the black background. I was like, well, it's a wrap.
The symbolism.
The
Yeah,
symbolism. Yes.
he went from
Yes.
being an angel to an angel of death,
Just like that.
like that, because it was necessary. Yeah, because it was absolutely necessary for him at that point. It was, I gotta say, it was so nice to see um, Amanda come back and have her be like the enforcer for John, because you
Mm-hmm.
can tell when she's rounding up all these people, she's obviously very angry about it. So it
Yeah.
wasn't gentle. She tased a dude into submission. When she got Gabriella in the bathroom, she used her
Boom.
mace.
Oh
Yeah,
my
she hit her
God.
face, used her mace, and just snuffed her out.
Oh man,
Um,
she was angry, yo. She was
uh,
angry.
because they fucked with Dad. That's why they were upset with Dad. Um, but so let me think. The order of the traps for Saw 10 were, we saw the first trap was the eyeball trap, where he saw the janitor
The custodian.
robbing.
So I had a
Yes,
question about that.
go
Okay,
ahead.
so the way that it was shot, I was trying to what I was wondering if he was imagining what he would do to him,
Mhm.
or if he actually did it. Like 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 I know they went through the whole thing, but it flashed back to him and the guy seeing him and putting the stuff back. I'm wondering if in that moment he put everything back, he didn't steal. If John was like, I could do this.
Contextually, it didn't happen, but I think it was more or less to show. It was showing you just how quickly it takes for him to decide who's gonna get it. And
Mm.
you get me? So the custodian, had he not put the shit back because he noticed that John was there, was
Mm-hmm.
gonna get it. He was gonna get
Mm.
every ounce of it. Um, and I think it was a very cool tidbit because that also shows John's obsessive nature
Yeah.
in terms of like when he's trying to dispense his form of justice, how quickly it takes
Mm-hmm.
for him to make that decision. And the criteria was all there because what he was doing was some scum, unjust shit. So
Absolutely.
that's how quickly it happened. So it almost even shows you just how in it he's in, like in that mindset. It took him that quick of a moment to figure out, I know exactly what I'm gonna make just for you. And that's scary. It's scary that you get
So
a chance to witness that. Like,
yeah, like how fast his mind works
mm-hmm.
and all that stuff. And so one thing I wonder is Henry, right?
Mm-hmm.
The one with the fake scar. Obviously, he was setting him up. But how far back did the setup go? Like, was he watching him to know? Oh, he tends to kind of want to eat here or hang out here. Let me like because like for him to happen to run into him, he happens to have the makeup for the scar done. Like I'm like it's so
him him having that scar, one, it's no accident. Clearly he has to have it on him in terms of like if he wants to make his story convincing.
yeah
But him running into John in that place is no accident. He went looking for
yeah
him to entice him, and he came to him as a friend. That's what makes it just that much worse. When John says, when he's like, "Where's your scar, Henry?" I was like, you know what? Celia did some pretty scummy things, but I'm actually more afraid for you than I am afraid for her.
mm-hmm
Be- because then he says, "What is it?" Henry's like, "Please don't kill me." He's like, "That's the last thing you should be worried about." And I was like, "Oh no, he's gonna get it. He's gonna get it."
he's gonna get it
So
so
I don't.
bad.
Well, and here's my theory. I don't think Henry's dead. I think what happens was because of the nature of the trap and the nature of the environment. I have this working theory that maybe he has that trap on Henry because he wants to interrogate him to make sure, hey, if you're helping them in this neck of the woods, how many other people are helping them?
Yes.
And where are those people? So I
Yeah.
think it was more or less like they were doing good cop, bad cop. Crazy enough, bad cop was Mark Hoffman, good cop was good cop. If Jigsaw's the good cop, pray. Get
Right.
right, get right with whatever God you pray to if Jigsaw's ever the good cop. Because I think that was just their way of. I have this theory that obviously, like Mark Hoffman and Jigsaw are building a network. To
Mhm.
now, Jigsaw's gonna go full speed ahead, dive right into his whole entire Jigsaw persona, and find these people. Um, which kind of shows you like it's such a cool way of them filling in the time span between Saw 1 through 4. And because obviously between Saw 1 through 4, I'm not sure how many years go by in that
Mhm.
time.
Mhm.
So now this is it's almost like a little nod for them to be like, hey, by the way, if you ever wondered, this is what he's doing on his free time. He's looking for these people plus running into the people that we saw all throughout the series.
Yeah.
Pretty neat
Okay.
theory.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Let's see. Uh, okay, yeah, we talked about him, like him being frail. Okay, so one thing that I thought was cool was like, throughout the movie, like he's seen this, he's like he's frail, he's weak,
Mm-hmm.
and then like when he's chained up and the blonde girl's right there, he just like with like lightning cat moves, grabs her hair, her head, and I was like, and it's holding it tight enough that she can't like. I was like,
Mm.
yo,
Mm.
yo,
It spoke to his rage.
yes,
Yeah, it spoke
yeah,
to his rage. But also,
that
like,
was. Mm,
he just seems to be someone who's just always in control, even when the odds are
mm,
around against him.
mm,
That's the kind of guy you should fear. If you just
yeah.
screwed him over and he's still keeping his composure, you clearly aren't paying attention to what's actually happening. And she found out the hard way.
Yes. Yeah, let's let's actually talk about that.
Yeah.
So it's so funny because I like when everything is revealed and they give you a couple little like flashbacks to like words that were said that mean different now that you know, and things like that and actions as far as like the gun because when he had the gun trained on them, I was like, I know you don't really make sudden movements with somebody with a gun, but I was surprised that neither one of them had really kind of did, try to, do anything like
Mm-hmm.
that. And that's because it was part of the plan. And then when he told him, excuse me, when John told, what's his name, Parker, that she's going to burn you the first chance she gets,
Mm-hmm.
like,
Did you feel like that should have been like the giveaway in the moment?
it could have been. I
Mm.
was just looking at it as like the regular. Yeah, she definitely is going to burn you. Matter of fact, when they went upstairs, I thought she was going to shoot him right there. I thought she was going to be like, oh yeah, thanks, love you, to the boop, all the money for me, yay.
I mean, how do I'm gonna try to say this in the most PG-13 way I can. I mean, clearly they were romantically involved in all aspects. She may not have married him, but that was definitely he was a body for the lonely, if I can just say
Yes,
it like that. And
yes.
you don't really kill something like that. They really hard to come by. I wouldn't have shot him. He might not have. He
Oh,
might
I
not
get
have
it. I get
seen.
it. I get it. As long as you serve my purpose and you don't get in my way, you can stick around. Got it. Got
He
it.
could
Got it.
definitely
Got it.
stick it, but that's kind of like the thing. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
sorry, my bad. That was I saw it. I took the opportunity. So sorry, but I didn't think she was gonna off him in that moment. What I how do I word it? Obviously, him not telling Amanda made me worry because I was like, oh, so this is really a trap gone wrong. Like this is a scenario, which was a cool. It was a really nice thing to see. And like, you ever wonder like what happens when things don't go to plan? Jigsaw's
Yeah.
way. I actually thought that's what was happening, and I was like, oh wait, how's this movie end? I was like, because Amanda
Yeah.
doesn't know about it, and Amanda's like confidant A all the fucking time.
Yeah.
So what happens now? And then Obviously, she's looking for the money, and I feel like they kind of screwed up. I can't say they screwed it up. I would have liked it better. She goes like, "Where's the money?" She pulls the bag, and the timer starts, and the music comes on. That for me, I remember the way it hit me when I first heard it, and I was like hyped to see what was gonna happen. What kind of nulled that for me? I could be wrong, but for me, it nulled it when he was like, "If you were supposed to be in that trap, who else was supposed to be in there with you?" So then for me, that for me was, and unfortunately, obviously, it shows you how much I was really paying attention in the moment.
Yeah.
I should have caught it. I was like, he's right. If Celia was on one side, who the hell was going to play the game with her? It never occurred to me that Jigsaw was hunting these two the whole movie.
The whole time.
The whole movie.
The whole time.
Jesus.
The whole time.
Sweet Mary.
The
Mm-mm.
whole time. So does this mean that the doctor lived?
She did live, and she's alive on purpose, because I think now they're. I don't know if you saw, but Tobin Bell even advertised. He goes like, "Hey, see you Halloween 2025." I was like, "Ooh." So there's gonna be a part two to Saw 10. Now we're going to Saw 11.
Surprise, surprise. As I said in my hot take, it made $111 million on a $13 million budget.
What you say?
They make another one,
They're
baby.
gonna make another one, dog. That's exactly what you said. They're gonna make another one. Um,
And another one.
and another one, and another one. But the thing is now, I think the reason why we're doing this, I mean, whatever contractual, I'm not sure if it's a publishing issue or whatever. There's a reason why they're numbering these things out the up to a ridiculous level. Saw 10 could have honestly just been a new Saw movie, just Saw.
Yeah,
We could have just revamped it, called it a day, moved on.
yeah.
I think um, Celia Peterson's alive because she's going to be the one that turns Amanda into a full blown murderer. Because by the time Saw 10 happens, Adam is, I think Adam is actually still alive. Because in Saw 3, we see Amanda goes back and she kills Adam. Because she's like
Yeah,
paranoid about him coming back to haunt her.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but that was her first official kill, and that was just out of paranoia. I think Celia Peterson is gonna be the villain for Amanda, and it's gonna be the first actual intentional rage-filled kill that Amanda has that starts her murderous tirade throughout the Saw series.
Mm,
I
okay,
think that's what they're setting
gotcha.
her up for. Celia Peterson's gonna be the one that pushes Amanda over the edge. That's
Okay.
what I think it's about. Yeah.
So, so as we kind of wind down to a close here, I have two questions for you. Wait, yeah, two questions for you. I had to think about it. I had to think about it.
We there.
um,
That's where we
we
are right
there.
now.
First question is, what was your favorite kill? Um, and if you need a reminder, we have the custodian, which again we don't know if it was real or not, but let's pretend that it was the custodian with the eye sockets. We have Diego didn't die. Diego survived. He
He's
survived.
the one that he had the things in his arms,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh,
He had
that's
to.
right. I forgot about him.
Yes, Diego survived.
That
Hey,
was
Diego, go!
out. Go Diego, go! It's
Go,
crazy.
Diego.
It's crazy. Yo. Okay, so wait.
Yes.
So my favorite trap for that movie
Mhm.
had to have been where I forgot his name. The gentleman that had to pick his brain and put it in an enzyme fluid.
Mateo.
Mateo. You want to talk about a trap that made you just chew your nails? The brain one had to do it for me. The brain, and then the fact that he lost, and it's like it's like the Mayan mask. Is it Aztec or Mayan? I could be wrong. I'm gonna get a bunch of angry DMs about that because I sound ignorant right now. But the fact that the mask was inspired by the culture, I thought was a pretty
Yes,
neat touch. It was a
yes,
very neat
and it was
touch.
yeah, it definitely a callback to when he was getting driven around in the taxi, and you saw that same like statue, and and you didn't even realize it till it closed on him. Then you were
Uh-huh.
like, hey,
Yeah, like oof, the
yeah.
foreshadow was powerful in this movie. Oh no.
Ooh,
But yeah,
uh,
Mateo's trap was definitely the one that did it for me.
I'm gonna have to concur. It was a
Mhm.
little hard watching Mateo's one because I was just
I'm gonna sound like
like
a
imagine
jerk.
having to like pick your own bird.
Well, I was actually, it's gonna sound so twisted. I giggled a bit watching him because I'm waiting for Mattel to just go like he hit like a wrong spot in his brain and he just suddenly like tapped out. Like
I no. I thought he was gonna start like talking nonsense. Actually,
same. I
I'm
was waiting for the
trying.
same thing.
Hey, I thought it was gonna happen,
Oh,
but it didn't. It didn't. I was like, oh, okay. Looks like Mateo doesn't need the full use of his brain. So
I
got
don't.
it. Got it.
I don't know if that would have made it better or worse. Is it worse in the sense of like that's so gruesome that he like just. Ugh. Um, the Geely. I will have to say though, even though Mateo one really made me like freak out in my seat, I still can't get over the sound design from the Geely song and the fact that the
Yeah.
what was her name? She was
Valentina.
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 Valentina had to basically suck out her own marrow.
Yeah. Well, not just that.
Well,
She had to saw off
leg
her own
first.
leg,
Yeah.
and then suck out her own marrow. And the thing is, it didn't make it in time because the marrow was stopping the blood from getting filling up too fast.
It
I
got
was
too
like,
thick. Yeah, a lot of things that people didn't take into account. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, son. But the
you
sound
know, I
design,
take that back. But Mateo was good. I'm gonna go Valentina. I'm gonna take it. No, yeah, I take that
Valentina,
back. I'm going Valentina.
that's fine.
Mhm.
Cover both
Because
ends of
the
this because those were.
oof, 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 oof. Look,
It was
look.
great.
The custodian kill set the tone, and everything else just kept up in it.
Hmm.
Woo. I really thought, I I was really surprised. I really thought Diego wasn't gonna make it. I was like, oh, he made it. Well, look at that, Diego. And as we talked about, Gabriella, R.I.P. my girl,
Rip,
R.I.P.
rip.
Oh my, listen. And then the way she just like snapped her
Mm.
neck. Oh my, because she had survived all of that.
I know. Contextually, what happened to Gabriella was she basically was lifted by her wrist with a chain, and she had another chain attached to her ankle. And what it did was it dangled her in the middle of the room for people watching, and
Hmm.
they shot at her with, I think it was MRI equipment with no filter. So
Yeah,
she was getting hit by raw
radiation.
radiation that was cooking her
Yeah.
skin alive. And the only way to escape was she had to basically break her hand or her leg enough to be able to slip through the chains.
Mm.
And she won. She won the game. That's the
Yeah.
thing that kind of messed everybody up in Saw 10. She won her game, and the lady that was running this whole entire scheme kills her by stepping on the back of her neck and snapping it.
Yeah.
Because the movie needed to emphasize this lady isn't. There's no
Is
redeem.
super.
She's not redeemable.
She's a
She's not a redeemer.
super villain.
Super
Super
villain.
villain.
Super
She
villain.
cut open. She cut open Valentina's body to get
I
her
forgot
intestines
about that.
to use as a rope, which
I forgot
which
about that.
and it worked. And it worked. Yes, super villain. She is a super villain.
Yeah. That
She is. She's a Thanos level supervillain. Okay,
Thanos.
except Thanos. I can kind of understand where you're coming from.
Point taken. I kind of like Thanos, to be honest. Like, if we're talking about
Yeah,
comparing, I kind of like him.
like
I like
I
Thanos.
like because he's like, I'm just taking away half the galaxy because we don't have enough resources.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't like it, sir, but I kind of understand what you're saying.
I don't like it though, but I kind of get it. Son.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's a bad example because him and Killmonger had one of the most reasonable arguments. It was very hard
Killmonger
to
was
like.
almost right if you think about it too.
Oh my!
Yeah.
Listen. He was. I forget. It's one of these funny videos. I think it's like Honest Trolls or something. Like he was making so much sense that they had to like have him like choke a woman for you to be like, oh, that's right, he's a villain. Okay, got it.
Have
That's
to
right.
remind
That's right. He's a
you. Have
villain.
to remind you. Have to remind you.
Yeah.
Have to remind you. Don't forget, this guy is a piece of shit. Don't forget.
Yes.
But he is also right.
Yes.
um,
Yeah, exactly.
I want to drop this here real quick, just so that you're aware, because this is something that they're talking about, and if you want to go digging, by all means.
Okay.
So we're gonna get this next Saw movie. It will be a continuation of Saw X with that Celia Peterson storyline, I would imagine, because she's alive.
It
Um,
needs to be.
right? And then that's the last of the flashback movies because now they're talking about, hey, since we're back on the Saw bandwagon, we want to tell you a story of what happens to Mark Hoffman after the ending of Saw 3D.
Oh, well, I guess I'm gonna have to
We went from prequel
watch.
to now sequel.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're gonna have to. I'm sorry, honey, but you're gonna have to lift up your end of the couch and catch up because you got at least 4 more movies to get through.
Oh my God. Okay. I will. I promise you, I will. And now for my final question of the night.
Dale.
Now this one is more so for lightness, so keep that in mind. You know.
Okay.
Now, can you think of anything in your life that Jigsaw would come after you for?
I've been waiting for this question my whole fanhood. All right. My thing.
Mm-hmm.
We're not putting any dirty laundry out there, but we're just gonna keep it
No,
straight and real, right?
Just funny and light things. Yes.
I think I rely on people too much, and at one point we were very selfish about it, not realizing that that's what we were. 100%. It would be because of like, I guess whether it made me, like a toxic individual or a
Mm-hmm.
selfish individual. 100%. It would be my, how I affected my relationships. 100%. There's no question about it. And I even went as far. I went as far as like, what represents an unhealthy relationship if we're going to translate it into a trap. I even went that far. Something tells me, uh, something tells me it would have been something. It would have been something closely related to the trap from Saw 6. And Saw 6 is a carousel trap. 6 people get on, only 2 can get off. You have to choose. You now have to choose who those people are gonna be. 100%. If I had a trap for me, it would be something like that. 100%.
Okay.
100%. That's a crazy question.
Right.
That is a existential question that you really have to consider. I actually
Right.
really like that one. Yeah. I really like that one.
Thank you. So I don't know if this is enough, but I'll go with this. So I tend to treat. I tend to have um. I think very highly of myself when, in terms of, oh, I can get these 20 things done in this pound of time.
Okay.
I just think that like I treat time like it's my nemesis. Like I have to beat it, like I have to,
Oh,
do better. But then I will
okay.
put 20 things on my list and I'm like, but I get this done in like 4 hours, and time
You wake up and go,
and
let's
time
get this
and
shit.
time again. I am proven to be wrong, and yet it's still, I wake up with a new rebound confidence that I can do it still, even though I lose every time.
So that you know what you get the honor, the honor. You don't get a trap. You get a game. You get a whole game out of it.
Oh shit!
The storyline, by the way, this is so cool because the storyline for Saw 4 is exactly what you just described. So if you're interested and you're
Oh,
intrigued, watch Saw 4 because Saw
I'm
4
going to.
is the foundation of Saw 4 is you can't save everyone.
Oh,
Don't ever walk through unsecured doors, and you have all the time in the world.
ah,
Don't rush it. You have time.
okay.
That is the foundation of Saw 4. You're
Oh
gonna really
my
like it.
gosh!
You're
Wow.
gonna really like it. Yeah.
So I get a whole game.
You get a whole game.
Wow. I
You
get a
have the
whole.
distinct honor of getting a whole game. I may or may not get the game. I may or may not get a game. I got a glorified trap, and we gotta figure it out, Charlie, because shit's good.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. You have definitely brought me on board for Saw 4. Like, you have, where I thought that I could go through life without going back to those movies, you have undoubtedly, sir, shown me the way.
Stand in this room with me in the red room. Come back. Finish what you started. There's more. There's more to it. You're not gonna like all of it. God damn it, I
There's
didn't
more
like
to
all of it.
see.
But there's so much more
Oh,
to see.
was it? There's more to see than can never be. Sorry, sorry,
Come
sorry,
on,
sorry.
come on, come on. But yeah, just
Oh,
come back to the dark side. Finish what you
come
started
back to
because
the dark side. I
the
will.
context is necessary. It really
I
is.
will.
And I almost envy
Okay.
you. I almost envy you because now you get to go in to the rest of the series with this fresh new perspective of Saw 10. So I feel like going forward it should be um if not a little more exciting, at least the depth of the tragicness of this whole
Mhm.
thing, I
Yeah.
feel like you would feel that weight naturally now.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And to be perfectly honest with you, part of me not watching the other Saw movies is initially, like I think 4 came out, I was too busy to watch. 5 came out, I was too busy to watch. And they were at 6. I was like, well, I'm already out the game. You know what I mean? So I had just given I had just given up. I had just given up. And then when they said Spiral, I was like, oh, it's different. Oh, okay. I can slide in Spiral. That's I'm
you
just being honest with you.
you looked at 6 and you're like, God damn, why won't you die? Like, just,
I was like,
it's
I'm already
worth.
2 movies behind. It's but yes, but you know what? I'm going to watch them. I'm going to watch them. Thank you. So,
They're not Oscar winners. They're not Oscar winners.
I know what I'm watching.
I'm just preparing you.
I know what I'm signed up for. Okay, 80s baby over here. All right.
All right, just
What was it, Friday the 13th, the 20th time, A Nightmare on Elm
oh, that's
Street,
right.
like 30, yeah, yeah.
All right,
All right, listen, Chucky done had a wife, he done had kids, he done had a cult. All right, yeah, yeah, yeah. This ain't new for me. This ain't new for me.
As long as you don't turn around and say I was talking some shit, I just want you to know. You can't put that on me. I
I'm
like
not.
them. I like
I'm
them.
not.
I never said they were great.
I know what I'm signing up for.
All
It's all right. I know what I'm signing up for.
right.
Oh my gosh. Let me
That's
tell you,
it.
this has been per the usual an awesome conversation. I freaking love it. I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me, honey. It's always so good to talk
Yes.
to you. Always
Oh,
so good.
same here, same here. I just, I love the community. I love the people.
Hmm.
So, and I love doing these because I get a chance to see the accounts face to face and have conversations, outside of us just texting and commenting under stuff, which is great still. It's great still,
Yeah,
but like, you get to have a full deep dive into conversation.
of
So,
course.
I guess Saw is just gonna have to be our thing. Whenever there's a Saw, we definitely doing it. And we're doing other movies in
Of
between.
course.
I understand that, but
Mhm.
Saw, you own it. You own the Saw conversations with
Come
me.
on. Come on. And by the
Yes.
way, look, to give you some due credit, you're for the people. The fact that you go out of your way and you want to communicate with your community is so hard to do just to set up the foundation for it. And I think you're going about it the right way, and it's so wholesome. And
Thank
honestly, like
you.
this is the second time we're talking face to face, but it's like coming back to an old friend, and we got this decorum. And I feel
Oh,
like if you're doing that with everybody else, you guys got a really good thing going.
thank you.
Definitely keep it up that way because this is such a good way
Thank
to do
you.
it. Yeah.
Thank
Tubi,
you.
your show's on Tubi. You need to post more about it. Don't play with me,
I
son.
will. I am.
This,
I am. I am. I am. I don't want to get yelled at. I'm definitely gonna do it. I'm gonna do
let's
it.
go.
I'm gonna do it.
Do it
I'm
up,
gonna do
please,
it.
because I'll team up with Aaron. We'll watch it. We'll definitely come back with feedback. You already said you got a season 2 on the way.
Yeah.
I'm thrilled, but I cannot stress. I'm very happy for you because it is so. The whole entire industry itself is such a hard thing to dive into, and the fact that you can get your feet wet in such a way that is polarizing to have it on a streaming service. Come on,
Thank
that's such a
you.
beautiful thing, and I'm so happy for you.
Thank
So
you.
let's do it up, do
Yes.
it up.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for participating. I've enjoyed the conversation. I'm always like, I normally do this every Tuesday. I'm not sorry, every Wednesday. I normally do this every Wednesday. Like Tuesday, I drop the hot take, and then Wednesday we have the conversation. But
Got it.
I'm stubborn. Okay, I'm still calling it Hot Take Tuesday live on a Wednesday. I ain't changing no name.
Don't
I ain't doing it.
change
I
it.
ain't doing
For
it.
what? It's the bit. It is what it
Yes,
is. It
yes.
is what it is.
You get it. You get it. All
It is what it
right.
is.
Well, I will see you guys next week. Ian,
Lisa.
thank you so much. And we will be doing another conversation. Like,
Of course.
if we might actually, I'm highly, yeah, before end of this year,
For sure.
I'll be reaching
And
out to you again.
I just have one thing, and you don't even have to do it. I just want you to know.
Tell me. Tell me. Tell
I'll
me.
do whatever you want me to do, but if you can
Tell
get
me.
me in a room or in a chat and you can just have Gilbert in it, you won't regret it. I promise you
Oh,
won't regret it.
oh. Okay, we do one with you and Gilbert. Oh,
Yeah.
yes, yes. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I'm gonna reach out to him because he was supposed to be on last month. And, our schedules were conflicting. We couldn't make it happen.
Right,
So
right, right.
I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna.
I can't
Okay, okay, okay.
wait
I'm
for
gonna.
Gilbert to see this part of the video because I already see him rolling his eyes because I poke and prod at him every step of the way because he's so professional about it. But I come from such a civilian perspective of it. You're in for a good time. I promise you're in for a good time.
Oh no, I love Gil.
So let's do it. Let's do it.
Do it, do it, do it, do
Do
it.
it.
Yes, yes, yes.
Come
Okay, I'm gonna reach out to
on.
Gil and see if we can schedule it for September or October. I'm gonna see if we can make it happen. Yes,
Yes.
yes,
And thank you so much for
absolutely.
having me on. I can't
Thank
wait to do more of these
you.
because it's the best time I've had.
Oh my
Honey, good luck to you.
God.
Good
Thank
luck to you in your
you.
future endeavors. Keep the grind on. Because if you keep your grind going, I get inspired by people doing the things that they
Oh,
want to do. And if we could just get a bunch of people who just want the same idea of success, right?
yes,
We're in such a better place.
yes, yes. We
Grind, grind,
are.
honey, please grind.
I'm doing it. I promise you, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. If anybody else who wants to come on and like chat movies and everything, like just shoot me a DM and we'll get you on the schedule.
Hit her up. Hit her up. Do it up.
Do it up, do it up,
Do it up. Do it up.
yeah. Alrighty. Well, thank you again. Love you so much.
Good night,
And
honey. Love you too.
you have a good night, everyone. See you guys next week.
Ta-ta.
Bye.